Isn't that fascinating? In a sea of red, where every altcoin is falling today, there is one meme coin that's doing quite nice. And that's BabyDoge. Here, have a look at this. Everything is red, but one shining green star. Now, why is that? Who is buying here? Who's selling here? Can we find something out using on-chain tools? Having a look at the retail investors, having a look at the whale investors, what's driving the prices here? Because while the price today is up by 15.7% to be more precise, over the long term, we see very interesting pumps and dumps. Where do those come from? There are two versions of the BabyDoge token. There's one on Ethereum and there's another one on the Binance Smart Chain. Let's have a look at both. What we see over here is the Binance Smart Chain based token. We see the number of retail investors on the left and the number of whale investors on the right. So this is counting the number of wallets, and the minimum holding threshold here for this chart is this amount of tokens over here. This equates at the current prices to roughly $1,000. In the middle, we've got medium-sized retail. So we got a 10x from the left chart. That's now a minimum holding of $10,000. On the right, we've got the whales. That's a minimum holding of $100,000. Now, what do we see? We see a ton of accumulation up until August of 2021. And since then, not much has happened with retail. On average, people simply kept on holding. Medium-sized retail was a bit more cautious. The number of medium-sized retail wallets fell by roughly 1/3. The most cautious or the most pessimistic are the whales. This dropped by more than 50%. Here are the exact same charts for the Ethereum chain. Note how the chart for the Binance Smart Chain starts in 2021, in the middle of 2021. But for Ethereum, it starts half a year later in January of 2022. But look how different those charts look. The thresholds are exactly the same. Retail accumulates, or at least the number of retail investors grows over time. Medium-sized retail grows as well. The number of whale wallets also grows. Most action though happens definitely on the Binance Smart Chain. Just look at the different sizes here. The holding thresholds are exactly the same, but just for the retail holders, right? We've got 35,000 on the Binance Smart Chain and only 740 on Ethereum. Now, I do not have an explanation why the holder dynamics are that different across chains. It's the first time I see this for any asset, and I've analyzed a lot of different tokens with this tool. This tool, by the way, is accessible for the premium members, so link is down below. It's thebitcoinstrategy.com. Now, those charts for the number of holders are pretty much free of volatility, right? They don't fluctuate too much. They either go straight up or straight down. Most holders are on the Binance Smart Chain, which tends to go down. So there's not really that much of a surprise that the BabyDoge token didn't do too well long term. But what is a surprise to me is, again, those random pump and dumps. Let's have a look at this again. This is the long-term chart of BabyDoge. Sometimes we go up massively, sometimes we crash, and this happens repeatedly. Currently, we seem to be picking up again. But still, right? Where do those price movements come from when the number of holders doesn't change that erratically? I only have one explanation, and that is manipulation by some people with very deep pockets. Either there are big players using a lot of leverage, or it's even directly the centralized exchanges that manipulate the price. Because have a look at this. This is where BabyDoge is mainly traded. And we've got a lot of trading volume on centralized exchanges. Gate.io, OKX, HDX, MEXC. Only 4% of all of trading volume happens decentralized. And the issue is those centralized exchanges are black boxes. We don't really know who moves the prices there. But we do know that it's definitely not the masses that create those ups and downs. The number of holders isn't changing much. If there's suddenly way more attention on BabyDoge coin and a lot of people suddenly get excited about this, then even though a lot of trading happens on the centralized exchanges, we would still at least a little bit see a movement here. And because of that reason, I think it makes a lot of sense to be very, very cautious here. I believe it might make sense to still take sometimes rallies like this, but to keep a very, very tight trailing stop loss. So the idea is that you ride the wave potentially, right? That you buy into the token, but at the same time, you've got a stop loss and you adjust the stop loss as the price rises, and that you then get stopped out very, very quickly once momentum turns around, and that you don't get wrecked in the meantime. Because that's the danger, right? There's a lot of attention when a price shoots up like this, but then you might end up buying high while the whales take profit and take away your money. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. Again, access to this tool is available in premium. Link is down below. There's a lot of other statistics here as well. Feel free to check it out. And if you can't justify premium yet, there is also a free Telegram. Link is as well down below.